Thanks for joining us on Tandem Radio for a very special segment, By Design, focused on helping you understand how God designed you so that you may be healthy and productive in fulfilling God's purposes in your life for many years to come. Now let's join our host, health expert and public speaker, Dr. James Prudian.
Welcome to the By Design radio program. My name is Dr. James Prudian of Prudian Healthcare and PrudianHealthcare.com, where health literacy is the key to longevity. And as long as God has us on this side of eternity, my show is designed to educate you and your families to feel better, function better, and live as many quality disease-free years as possible. Start off with Luke 1:37, for with God nothing is impossible. That's the basis of our show, and By Design radio is all about what is the literal design that God created for us for our physical, our nutritional, and our psychological stress approach to life, and how man has obviously implemented into that system a program that is so wrong as the escalating obesity, high blood pressure, cancer, heart disease, chronic illness epidemic continues to grow in our country. This show is not so quick to blame mommy and daddy and genetics. This show is about lifestyle, as most of the research coming out right now is indicating that 95% of chronic illness is actually environmental, lifestyle, man-made, the stuff that we do to ourselves, not embedded into our DNA and our genetic code. The show is built on the foundation of the pyramid of health. We have detoxification, epigenetics, immunity, inflammation, digestion, structure, stress, and energy. And we've been starting now into this is week 33. We're coming out of digestion, everyone, and we're going to finish digestion and go right into another foundational topic, which is immunity. And as I go through immune health, we're going to be tying together detoxification, epigenetics, obviously immune, nutrition, and digestion, and stress. So we're going to be using all of the foundational pieces that we've done through the first 32 shows and really start tying them together, because our immune function is obviously important to all of us. How we fight off infection, how we stay healthy, how we avoid getting sick. And immune is more than just avoiding getting the common cold. Remember, our immune function also will prevent us from allowing our genes to express themselves, that's epigenetics, with things like autoimmune diseases, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, MS. These are autoimmune diseases in which the body turns on itself, and these diseases come from within. Now, once again, we may have the genetic marker under epigenetics for, let's say, rheumatoid arthritis, but it's up to us through the lifestyle that we lead not to allow that gene to express itself. So that's the study of epigenetics. We're going to use detoxification and staying detoxified. So this way our digestive system works better by eating an anti-inflammatory diet to build a better immune system. And obviously tempering and the effects of stress, which we did in earlier shows, staying out of that fight or flight reflex that God has possessed us with. But that reflex is for when a lion walks in the room. It is not for daily energy. So as the show gets into the weeks 30s and 40s and 50s, the audience, you guys' job is to start tying the pieces together as we cover these foundational subject matters. So back, detoxification, we want to get rid of the toxics. How does our body rid itself of toxic materials? We have a liver to do that. There is a process in which God designed us for to naturally detoxify through our liver and our skin, amongst other parts of our body. We have epigenetics, which I just covered. We don't want that gene to express itself. We have inflammation, which is 90% of the American food budget is spent on inflammatory processed man-made food. That is not by design. Digestion, we have this 30-foot tube that is meant to assimilate proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water, called our digestive system. It uses pancreatic enzymes. It uses stomach hydrochloric acid, amongst other things like bile made from our gallbladder, to efficiently package waste through our urine and our stool. And of course, we have stress, and this stress that we're under, or some of us are under, this constant daily stress, impeding basically breaking down the other systems, and one of those systems is our immune function. Again, these are systems that have been built inside of us that every day when you wake up, you're not thinking about. You go about your daily business and you're not thinking about epigenetics. You're not thinking about digesting your food. Your body just does it naturally. It does it autonomically. That's why you have an autonomic nervous system built right into your body. So you don't have to tell your heart to beat, right? 60, 70 times a minute. It does it by itself. So these systems that are designed and built inside of each one of us require maintenance, they require care, and they require us to know a little bit about each one of those. The show is designed to give you some information, and hopefully tangible information that you could use every week in your day-to-day decision making for your families, when you go out to dinner, when you go shopping. Hopefully, I hear a lot of feedback that everybody's drinking their 8 to 10 ounces of water when they first get up in the morning to improve digestion. We're doing a good job out there through the emails I'm receiving for you guys, getting rid of that man-made food, and we're going to eat God's food. We're understanding that we want to give our liver a break, and we want it to naturally detoxify so we don't recirculate bad stuff. And all of this leads to our immunity. Now, what we really want to do is we want to look at our immune system and we want to empower it. We don't want to beat up our immune system, just like we don't want to beat up our digestive system. And the digestive system, where I ended last time, we kind of concluded, one point I want to make about the digestive system and beating it up is we all have heard of antibiotics. Some of us take antibiotics, right? They're prescribed to kill the bad bacteria that is causing us to be sick. Well, the antibiotics also kill all the good bacteria that's in our gut. And in digestion, we spoke about that 60 to 70% of our immune system is actually in our digestive system. Well, where is that, Prudian? Well, it's in the probiotics. It's in the healthy gut flora. Inside your gut are these healthy bacteria. Those are, when foreign invaders come in, those guys are gobbling them up. They have a purpose. That's why many of us take probiotics on a daily basis. You may have heard of lactobacillus or acidophilus. These are probiotics that help build a healthy gut, a healthy flora, and they are part of our immune system. So when we take an antibiotic, it's very important, I prescribe to my patients, that when you're taking an antibiotic, it's even more important to take an probiotic. So as the antibiotic is killing all that good healthy bacteria while it's killing the bad stuff, we want to replenish our immune system with a probiotic. So this leads me to my first conversation, which is let's empower our immune system naturally. Now, understanding the immune response and learn how to enhance your body's natural defenses to fight off sickness and disease. So this immune system needs to be empowered. Let's give it all the fuel that it needs to fight off the nasty diseases and infections that obviously we have and that we see in our society. So the immune system is a highly sophisticated, coordinated, and integrated system involving, it involves highly specialized cells and biochemistry. When functioning well, the immune system not only keeps us safe from foreign invaders and microorganisms, it's also a key modulator in other bodily functions. So our immune system is encased basically in a few different parts of our body. Some of you may have heard of the thymus gland. The thymus gland is a gland that when we're born with it, it basically, as we age, it sort of dissolves in our body. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the thymus, but you may want a THYMUS gland. You might want to go to a browser and just read about the thymus gland. It's something that many doctors and people don't talk about because it's very important when we're infants. Extremely important for you young moms and dads out there. I have 5 children. They're all over the age of 4 now, but in raising infants and looking at the thymus gland, very important. The bone marrow is part of your immune system, which creates certain types of cells that fight off those bad foreign invaders. Lymph nodes, obviously, we've all had swollen lymph nodes. That means they get kind of clogged up with debris, and these lymph nodes filter our lymph system so that what it's filtering is the debris that's falling out of the blood, and that debris many times are foreign invaders. So these glands and nodes are these three are a major part of your lymphatic system or your immune system. The biggest lymph gland or the biggest immune organ in the body is your spleen. That's number 4 in the list. So the spleen serves a very important function in immune health. And of course, the submucosal area of your gastrointestinal tract. That goes back to the GI. The GI system goes back to digestion, which we just covered. So thymus gland, bone marrow, lymph nodes, spleen, and the GI tract, all been built in you, all designed to fight off those foreign invaders, and those along with other parts of your body that you may not really even think about too often, like your skin, your nails, your organ linings, your bodily fluids like tears and digestive acids are all part of immune. They're part of the immune system. They're players in the immune system. You have immunocytes such as microphages and macrophages and neutrophils and T cells and B cells, which are called lymphocytes. You have natural killer cells, which are called NK cells. These are all very specialized cells that all serve a purpose, which I learned many years ago in histology class, which was the study of the cell. And in histology, you look under a microscope and you study all the various types of white blood cells and lymphocytes. And these things are built in us to fight off the foreign invaders. But we can't forget about that mucosal liner. That mucosal liner in our gut is critically important, that is making the healthy probiotics. Those are the ones we want to proliferate. Those are the ones we want to make sure are ready for action as we're digesting food and they're ready to take on the detoxification process. So this week's show was to introduce you guys to what are the immune system players: thymus gland, bone marrow, lymph nodes, spleen, GI tract. The integument, which is the skin, the nails, the organ linings, the submucosal membranes. You have bodily fluids like tear, digestive acids. You have immunocytes like macrophages and T cells and lymphocytes. All of these things are working together in this gorgeous orchestra that God has created in our body. Next week, we're going to get into the actual pathogens. Now, what are those foreign invaders like bacteria and viruses and parasites and fungus and molds, etc., that are invading our body? Okay, so we want to introduce immune. Guys, I want to thank you for listening to the By Design radio program. If you have any questions for me, please submit them to prudianhealthcare.com, and I'd love to go over them on the air next week. And I want to wish everybody a blessed week, and one where you remember God's design always wins. Have a great week.
You've been listening to By Design with Dr. James Prudian of Prudian Healthcare. To learn more, visit us at tandemradio.com. That's tandemradio.com, or on Facebook. And don't forget to email us with your questions. We'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, hope you have a healthy week, and we look forward to you joining us next time for more fantastic insights from Dr. James Prudian on By Design, a special production of Tandem Radio.